Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today, this evening. We're going to give it a few more minutes until 6:10, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So it looks like we'll have some more people coming in to join us. Click the recording already. But they can always edit it out, the moments of silence. I better, rather than edit it out than me forget to click.
Exactly.
So they'll get a chance to do a little work. An attendee, can you hear us okay? Your screen says unknown, so we don't know your name, but can you hear us okay? Participant number one that left.
I guess not.
So in that case, I'm gonna pause, record. And then the next one, I have someone coming in. Let's see here. Participants. Joining, Jasmine is joining us. I love it when they put their name. I hope she can come in. And the other question would be, how long are the programs? I'm assuming at College of the Desert, are your programs? What kinds of programs are available?
Okay.
What happened to Jasmine? Let's see, participants, admit all. Now we're rocking and rolling. Giselle is joining us. Yeah. Welcome, everyone. Says four. Hi, Giselle. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. Looks like Jasmine is someone else that's trying to join. So what we want to do is just give it a minute. It's about 6:13. Maybe we'll give it 2 minutes. And then we'll go ahead and get started with our questions. So that way we can at least, because it does say between 6:10 and 6:15 attendees will be joining.
Okay.
Giselle, can you hear us okay? You're welcome to just put a note in the chat if you like. Awesome. She said, yes, she can hear us. Awesome. Thank you so much. Yay, we have two. Well, we had to.
Back to one.
Hey, this is gonna be fun, Giselle. Bear with us, okay? Bear with us. We got this. Is that M-I-H-I? How would you pronounce that?
Mihi?
Mihi? Okay. And Mihi is joining us. Hi, Mihi. It says connecting to audio. Could you can see that, right?
Yes.
Professor?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, it's 6:15. We are still recording, so this is good. So then maybe we will give me 1 moment. 'Cause I've had that to happen too. My audio just kept going in a circle and it wouldn't connect. Looks like they're both caught in a loop. Well, Giselle, we're so happy that you were able to come in. I don't know what you did good, right, but it worked. So it's 6:16. Looks like we lost them. Well,
She's probably trying to get in
yeah,
her audio again. That's weird that it won't connect.
yeah. And because it was both of them, it makes me think it may be something other than, sometimes for me, it was my internet.
I don't think so on this one.
Yeah. Check my security settings, everything is good. Name themselves, start video. Pictures. Waiting room. Okay. Please keep an eye on the waiting room. Some students said they are still waiting to get in. Well, we're watching ours, so, because we're waiting for them to come. I'm gonna send him a message to let him know that we are on it.
Are they encountering any issues with audio? We can ask them that.
Yeah, we see them trying, but the audio is not connecting. Or the two. We have. Well, Giselle is in. So Giselle, okay, so let's try this again. I'm clicking admit. I'm gonna make you a co-host, Professor Bender. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, it said make host, but no, I don't want that.
No.
I want to change the host, no. I thought it would allow me to make co-host, but it's okay. Okay. Oh, for the sake of Giselle, who has been here patiently waiting with us, and we are so greatly appreciated. It's now 6:20. Would you like to go ahead and get started?
Sure.
Okay. So Giselle, my name is Muriel Anderson McDade, and while we're waiting for others to join us, you are only attendee, and we greatly appreciate your time this evening. I am the Employment Placement Coordinator at Riverside City College, and it's really a pleasure to be here tonight. My honor to introduce our speaker for this evening is going to be Professor Bender, Yolanda Bender from College of the Desert. And I will let her go ahead and mention about her program, and then we'll go ahead and introduce ourselves, and then we'll do for some questions. So Professor Bender.
Hi, Giselle. My name is Yolanda Bender. I'm the instructor and faculty advisor for the hospitality management program at College of the Desert. We have a full range of degrees for hospitality management. So we have our employment prep degree, we have our AS degree, transfer prep, and then we have a certificate program as well. Some of the top colleges in the area, well, Cal Poly Pomona is one of the top colleges in the country that offer a 4-year degree in hospitality management, but we have a local college, Cal State University San Bernardino and Palm Desert, that also has a hospitality management degree. Theirs is a business degree with an emphasis in hospitality management.
Awesome. You probably pretty much just covered a little bit about the first question, right? So Professor Bender, the first question is going to be, what can you tell us about the hospitality industry?
So the hospitality management industry is all of the aspects that are associated with managing any kind of a hospitality business, whether it's a hotel, lodging, dining, entertainment, travel, events, anything that has to do with travel and tourism and hospitality. It is the management of all the different aspects. Hospitality management offers a huge range of jobs that are available. So for example, at a large resort, you have your front office people, but then you have your general manager, your assistant managers. You're going to have human resources. You're going to have maintenance. You're going to have housekeeping, obviously, but you're going to have finance. You're going to have sales and marketing, banquets and catering. So there's a lot of different areas that once you start working at a hotel, you can move into. There's this misconception that jobs in the hospitality management industry are low. That's because everybody associates front desk and housekeepers with hospitality, right? But that is not the case. They are very well-paying jobs. If you're a general manager, you can make up to $140,000, $180,000, $200,000 plus bonus. Most of the management positions are bonused, so you get extra on top of your salary and full benefits. So it's not just medical and dental. You have travel where you get discounts at hotels, retirement packages. So there's a lot to be done in hospitality management. It is also, the last time I checked, it was ranked number 4 in the country, number 6 in the world. It's number 1 in the Coachella Valley.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Coachella is it still going on out there? Or is this
No, that's done. Stagecoach is next.
Stagecoach is next. Okay, got it. Looks like Unknown is trying to join us again. Yay, I think we have another one. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Since we have another attendee, I'll go ahead and really quickly introduce myself. I'm Muriel, your moderator tonight. I'm from Riverside City College, and I'm the Employment Placement Coordinator. And it's a pleasure for us to have Professor Yolanda Bender from College of the Desert. And she's going over some questions now, so we'll go ahead and continue with the questions. So Professor, how long are the programs at College of the Desert, your hospitality program?
Yeah, they are 2-year programs. And so for the hospitality management AS degree, employment prep, there are 8 core courses in hospitality plus all your general education. If you're planning on transferring, Then there's only 2 hospitality management courses, and then all the classes that you need to transfer to a UC or a Cal State. But they are 2-year programs. Certificate programs are a lot shorter, but you can expect to spend 2 years there. I've tried to condense everything as much as possible so that you are out in 2 years.
Awesome. Great, thank you. And I just put a little note, if anyone if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. You can do a thumbs up if you can to let me know you can hear us, or just put in the chat that you can hear us. And we'll go on and move on with the next question. The next question is, what kind of programs are available? I don't know, I think you kind of mentioned that at the beginning, but if you don't mind, what kind of hospitality?
No problem. So again, we have the AS degree for employment prep. We have the AS degree for transfer, and then we have hospitality management certificate of achievement. For the employment prep program, the 8 core courses are intro to hospitality, hospitality law, hospitality supervision, intro to food and beverage management, hotel front office and housekeeping management. Not that you're going to learn how to be a housekeeper, but how to manage those departments, because you're going to be a GM one day, you need to know that. Hospitality sales and marketing, hotel and restaurant accounting, and customer service management. And then this year we've added a class. This is not a core class, but it is an elective. It is called Leadership and Management in the Hospitality Industry. We've just started 2 weeks ago. This is a class that we teach in conjunction with students from Wakayama University in Japan. And at the conclusion of the class, which ends on May 26th, our College of the Desert students will be traveling to Japan. I know, awesome, right? So they will be meeting in person with the students that they are on with now on a Zoom call. It's a very good class. I mean, I'm really impressed with all of our students. And then once we get there, we'll talk with industry leaders in Japan and attend a couple of classes at Wakayama. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's important for students to see how the hospitality industry is run in different countries and how different cultures can interact effectively. Because if you're going to be managing diverse teams, right, which we will, then you have to understand all of that. So I'm excited about that.
That is very exciting. Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. I want to go.
Yeah.
So, so our next question is, what is the pay salary range for some of these careers in hospitality? So I know it's a variety, but if you can.
Big variety. So I'm going to give you the basics. So let's say you want to go into operations. If you want to start off as a front office manager or assistant general manager, that range is anywhere from $53,000 to $58,000 a year salary. If you're a general manager, anywhere from $96,000 to $140,000. But if you're a general manager at one of the huge resorts, then you're going to make over $200,000. If you want to go into sales and marketing, a sales coordinator is entry level for that department. They average about $48,000. A sales manager is $64,000, and a director of sales $168,000. And again, these positions all have incentive plans, which means that aside from your salary, every 3 months, if you exceed your revenue goals or your labor goals and spending goals, if you're in operations, you get more money. And it all depends on what the incentive plan is. And then if you like food and beverage, a food and beverage manager, around $50,000, and a director of food and beverage, $83,000. If you want to go into restaurants, assistant restaurant manager will make about $45,000, a restaurant manager about $118,000, and a bar manager about $43,000. So that gives you, and these are entry level kind of, averages.
But those are pretty good. I was just going to say, is that like entry level or is that mid range?
That's realistic. No, that's realistic. They pay really well, and again, they all have benefits because these are salaried positions. Yeah.
Oh, really?
And you also have the advantage that if you are working here, and let's say you work for a Marriott or a Hilton or a Hyatt or whatever, right? If you're working here and you see on the website that there's a job in New York City and you decide, I want to go to work in you can apply for that job And if you're accepted, you get transferred over there, right? So you have the ability to move around in different places if you choose to.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Now, that's a good one. They probably don't pay for relocation, right?
Some of them do, depending on what your title is. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to just pause. I just put a little message in the chat. Thank you guys again for joining us. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat, raise your hand, and I'll be happy to go on and answer your questions. Okay, so the next question we have are, what are some of the things students have done after graduating?
Mm.
What are
So
some-
I have a student right now that is managing 2 restaurants in San Diego. I have another former student that was working, managing food and beverage operations at one of our local casinos. We obviously have a lot of students that work in hotels right now. So the program is relatively new. In 2020, there were 2 classes and now we have 9. So it's growing pretty quickly. And we are also talking to 3 of the area hotels, well, resorts, to set up internships. They're very interested in helping our students. And so, you know, they have a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities.
That's very interesting, because I would love to know more about that, how they're setting that internship. And part of the second part to your question, I think you may have touched on it. It was, you know, what are some of the things that students do after graduation, have done after graduation, and then what kind of careers have they gone into? So you're basically the casinos, I think.
Yeah, mostly hotels and then
Hotels.
food and beverage. Yeah, so
Hotels and food and
restaurants. Yeah. Mhm.
Restaurants. Okay, so local.
That's mostly what everybody does. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we'll move on to our next question. I don't see anything in the chat. Thank you for hanging in there, Giselle. We appreciate you. What kind of resources are available to students at your college?
Oh, we have a lot of resources. We
Kind
have
of second part, and I can say, maybe this will help you. It says, please talk about EOPS, DSPS, scholarships, financial aid, and any clubs that students like to participate in.
Well, the college has the pledge program, and if you qualify for the pledge program, you attend tuition free. We have all of the DSPS, so disability services. We have services for veterans. We have the Black Student Union. We have the Dream Center for Dreamers. We have the Pride Center. We have a food pantry that you don't have to pay for food if you're in need. Let's see, what else do we have? All kinds of scholarships available. I'll give you an example. For this class that's going to Japan, I was able to secure some funding through our foundation and then through one of my contacts. And so our students are paying $500 to go to Japan. So when I tell you that there's a lot of support in the community, this is usually a program that would cost about $4,300 to $4,500, and our students are paying $500. Because when I created this, I didn't want this to be something that only students that either have money themselves or their parents have money are able to go. I think this should be open to everybody. And so the college is very much into being as equitable as possible. So that's part of it as well. So we have tutoring services, you name it, we've got it.
Wow. I was going to ask you about that, but you answered a question. I was, the Japan trip. I'm like, how much is that going to cost parents for students that are attending?
Yeah.
$500. And how long will they be there?
We're going to be gone 9 days. That covers everything except food, and you figure probably another $400 to $500 for food for them. But
okay,
still
an amazing trip for less than $1,000. I can't even fly to Mississippi for that.
No,
my hometown.
exactly.
So that's yeah. Well, it looks like Mihai was able to log in, and we're so excited for you to join us. Thank you so much. I'll just reiterate what my name is since you're able to connect right now. My name is Muriel Anderson McDade, and I'm your moderator for this evening for this hospitality industry event. I'm the employment placement coordinator at Riverside City College, and it's a pleasure for us to have Professor Bender, who is a professor at College of the Desert for the Hospitality Management Program. We just went over all of the questions that we had this evening, but if you would like to, maybe you're welcome to unmute, ask any questions that you may have, or you can put them in the chat and I can ask for you. We can all see the chat. So Giselle or Mihai, did you have any questions? Feel free to unmute, or like I said, you can put it in the chat. No?
No, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's just like, oh, voice. Thank you guys so much. So, is there anything else, Professor Bender, maybe we could share or just reiterate for Mihai? Or Mihai, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name. Please forgive me.
All of our classes, well, not all of them, the majority of them, 7 of them. If you take the final exam and you pass with well, you will take the final exam. If you pass with 70% or higher, you will get a certificate from the American Hotel and Lodging Educational Institute. And the reason that I did that is that American Hotel and Lodging Institute is the largest organization that supports hotels and restaurants. I mean, they're in partnership with the National Restaurant Association. So anyone that you're going to interview with is familiar with AHLEI. And so the goal is that that's on your resume. They're going to call you in, right, for an interview. That's the goal, so that you can get that job. It shows that you're more serious. These are serious, not easy subjects. And so, you know, the goal is to get, if you're on the employment prep track, to get you a job, the best paying job possible when you graduate. We have flexibility. So some of our classes are hybrid, where we meet once a week and the rest of them are online. Some of them are all online. Some of them are accelerated, which means they're either 8-week or 12-week classes. So we try to make it as flexible and as easy for our students, because we know that they have other responsibilities. So yeah, that's how that works.
You briefly mentioned about, I think you said something about a resume. Is there anything maybe you could share particularly that would help students going into this industries, that would help them stand out on their resumes, for, you know, anything particular they want to add to it?
Well, definitely don't be afraid to take a job that's a little lower, let's say, than you want. I wouldn't say like you have to be a housekeeper. I'm not saying that. But, you know, don't be afraid if you get an opportunity in a larger hotel, to take it. Well, any hotel really, to take it, or restaurant, or whatever it is you want to do, and then work your way up. Okay, this industry, there's a lot of growth in this industry, tremendous amount of growth. I will tell you that the CEO of Hilton Corporation started plunging toilets in bathrooms. The current general manager at the JW Marriott, which is the biggest resort in the Valley, it has 950 employees, started bussing tables. And in college, and within a couple of years, he was an assistant manager of a restaurant and then moved his way up. And so there's a lot of opportunity for growth in this industry. I'm not going to lie, it was decimated during COVID, but they've come back really strong, really strong.
That's amazing. Thank you. I mean, I can definitely vouch for all of the jobs that are available in this industry. I can't tell you, being the job developer, job placement coordinator, the amount of employers, from restaurants, hotels, even hospitals, because that's still part of like a hospitality type of industry. Hotels, I'm struggling finding them the help that they need, and it's completely flipped. So
Right.
Yeah, so this is definitely a growing industry. So Giselle, we have Giselle, James just joined us there. Thank you, James. And then we have Mihai here with us tonight. So you guys, please feel free to let us know if you have any questions. We have a few more minutes still. So we've gone through our questions. So I'm trying to think of other things that we might want to talk about tonight. So is there anything else you want to share, Professor Bender?
You know, I come from the hospitality industry. I just started teaching 3 years ago. And I will tell you that it's a great career. There's never a dull moment. Sometimes it's frustrating. It can be very rewarding though, both personally and financially. you know, every year in my class, I ask my students, you know, what are your goals in life? And they have a lot of different ones, but a lot of them are pretty basic, right? They want to take care of their families. They want to take care of their parents. They want to travel. They want to have, you know, a future that they can depend on. And I always tell them that's what I wanted. And that's what I got from this industry, right? I was able to send my kids to college, buy houses, travel. So it is an industry that can change your life. And that is the truth.
That's amazing. Looks like we have someone else trying to join us here. If you guys want to put, if you have some questions you want to put in the chat, we are definitely watching the chat. You're more than welcome to post them there. We've kind of went over salary, this pay range for this industry, the various opportunities that's available in this industry. How, Professor Bender, how would you speak on, I know there's a wide range from pay within the Inland Empire and then the pay when you go out like LA County. Can you speak on that one?
Yeah, well, obviously, if you're in an urban center, you know, a really busy area, that could be Orange County, it can be LA, but it's also the Coachella Valley, right? Palm Springs, yes. Palm Desert, Rancho Mirage, because we have really big hotels. You know, in the Riverside area, Ontario area, you don't have the big, huge hotels. You have a couple, but most of those are smaller, right? So you're not going to make, you know, $140,000 as a GM there, like you would at in some of these bigger areas, bigger hotels. So anything by the beach, anything in LA, anything by the airport, Orange County, out here, they pay really well.
So, but they can get started out here in the IE and the smaller hotels, and then get that experience under their belt, and at least that will be the pathway they'll know to branch out to larger organizations. And
absolutely. You know, revenue management is a career that not too many people know about, and revenue management, they take care of setting the rates for all the hotels, right? It's a great career, and every revenue manager that I know started at the front desk, because you have to know the property management system to be able to change the rates. It is a great career. Most of them work from home. They have a few hotels that they look over. They don't work weekends. It's, you know, it's something really, and it's not, nobody really knows about it unless you're in the industry. But again, if you like numbers, if you like analyzing, that's another area that you can go into. So that when I tell you that there's so many different avenues in this industry, there really are.
Wow, that made me think about a student that I was speaking with today who was in accounting, who's an accounting major, but that major could also, I mean,
you can work in the finance.
Revenue
you can work in the finance department. Yeah. And they also have finance departments. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea. Okay, great. Thank you. I've learned something today then. Thank you. Let's see here. What else could we talk about? You talked about a lot of things over with the Coachella Valley, with College of the Desert. We've gone over the hospitality industry as a whole. Let's see here. That's all the questions that we have right here in front of us. Mihai and Giselle, help us out a little bit. Think of something.
Are you, Giselle and Mihai, are you considering going into hospitality? And if so, what are you thinking about? What are you thinking?
So specifically in a hospitality section. But I did want to ask, you were saying that, you know, you were like giving an example, like you don't accounting major, like is there a specific major?
Yes.
In
hospitality
management. You know,
well, hospitality management is not necessarily a hospital. Okay. Hospitality management is how you manage different kinds of lodging industries, restaurants, all of that. Now, if you're going to work in a hospital, a lot of them do like taking hospitality management majors because it's important for them to have good customer service. And that's the basis of hospitality management. Nursing homes, definitely nursing homes like hospitality management majors. Assisted living facilities, that kind of place. So yeah, if you're looking, you know, it depends on what you want to do in a hospital. If you want to be a hospital administrator, it's not hospitality management. That would be hospital administration. It's like business administration for hospitals. This is a little different.
Thank you so much. That cleared a lot for me.
You're welcome. How about you, Giselle? Are you thinking about going into hospitality?
No worries. She may have, you're welcome to put it in the chat if you don't want to speak up. It's okay. And I'm pretty sure you're able to unmute if you like also. And check that.
So sorry to ask this question. I'm not
No,
sure.
don't apologize.
No, we want you to ask questions.
So, perfect. Thank you. So when it comes to hospitality management, you have to have that hospitality major degree, correct? Whether it's working in a nursing facility or, you know, whether working in a restaurant, or you have to have that major and degree itself, correct?
If you want to work in a hotel or a nursing home or a restaurant and you want to manage it and move up, yes. Yes. I mean,
Thank you so much.
the next one would be a business degree, but I'm going to be honest with you, I have a degree in business. And when I started working in hospitality, I quickly learned that it's a very specific industry. Okay. So if you really want to go into hospitality management, you want to learn before you get there a little bit more about it. You'll be better prepared.
Do you need a second degree with it in order
No.
to be able to go into that?
You mean a bachelor's degree?
Yes. Or you said you have a business degree, correct?
Yeah. You don't have. Yeah. You can't. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. If you get a bachelor's degree, you're absolutely going to move up faster, right? You just are. That's just the way it is. But that's not to say that if you have a 2-year degree, you can't move up. I know someone in the industry who's super well respected, one of the best in hospitality that I've met. And for most of his career, he managed half the country for Ritz-Carlton, half of their hotels in the country. And he has a degree, a 2-year degree. So it can be done. You just have to be very determined. Another thing that is available in the hospitality industry is that once you start working at a hotel, especially if it's part of a chain, Hilton, Marriott, Wyndham, Hyatt, any of those, right? They have so much of their own training. So if you're interested in going into sales, you can take a bunch of training in sales for free, right? You want to let the person, the director, the manager know, this is what I want to do, and then start training for it as much as you can. And it shows that you're interested, right? So there's a lot of training that they offer once you get there as well.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, these are great questions. Thank you so much. I'm taking my notes myself. So, and I can see how that would definitely work in the industry. It's definitely a growing industry. And for a second there, we were all really worried during COVID about a hospitality industry. And then it's like it came back with a boom,
Yes,
right? So,
yeah.
amazing. So talk about bounce back. Let's see here. I think we went over some of the key importance, and a lot of students that ask me is about the pay. That's the first thing they ask. And so I like that part about, you got to pay your dues. And you touched on the degree. So you mentioned your program, one of your programs was a certificate, correct? The first one
Yes.
you mentioned. And then there is an associate's degree.
Associate's degree, hospitality management, associate's degree,
Okay.
employment prep. If you just want to have 2 years and go out in the workplace, or there's a hospitality management associate's degree, AS degree, transfer prep, if you're going to transfer to a 4-year college, because you have to have all of those requirements.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really like the employment prep. So what can you tell me a little bit about that course? Because that's great. That's amazing to have, because a lot of students finish their certificate and obviously they're ready to go out into the workforce. However, that prep part, which is part of what a lot of job developers do, we're doing that for so many students, where if they could just take a class on that, for each program.
Well, again, there's 8 courses to pick from. Not really, they're required. that cover pretty much all aspects except for facilities and finance, even though we have hotel and restaurant accounting, but we don't get, you're not going to be a CPA, you're not going to run the finance department taking this class, but you're going to know how to analyze financial statements, which you're going to have to do, budgets and that kind of thing. So it's a very in-depth degree, I think, that gives you a really good idea of what to expect in the workplace. And that's why I'm working with hotels to set up internship programs, right? Because then it means even more. So you're taking the class, but then you're going to go and see really what it is, so that when you graduate in 2 years, you have a really good idea of what you want to do, right? You're not going to flounder around for a while. We also have a work experience program that if you're working in the industry, you can get credits for that as well.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with the work experience. Are your internships paid internships?
Oh, they're going to be paid.
Okay.
I mean, they're not set yet. We're working on that, but oh yeah, they're going to be paid. Yeah. I don't believe in free labor.
I
No.
know, right? Exactly. That's why a lot of employers, when they ask me about internships, which we do not have or pay, but I connect it to the work experience class. At least let the students get something out of
Oh, yeah.
it. No, we don't.
No, I make that very clear. They're going to get paid. Yeah.
We don't do free labor, volunteer, you don't need the school to do that. You could, don't do that on your own. So, okay, so it looks like it's about 6:50. I do believe at this point we transition into session number 2. So we have like a little 5-minute leeway in between session. I just want to really thank Giselle and Miha so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much for your time this evening. And we're going to go ahead and take a quick break if you need to, and then we're going to transition into session number 2. So
thank you so much.
Mimi,
I appreciate it.
I put my email in the chat. If you have any questions, go ahead and email me.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Oh, great.
For all the information.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're amazing. Please take that email down.
Definitely.
Okay. So my question, though, I will stop the recording. I'm going to go ahead and restart the recording. And thank you again, everyone, for joining us this evening for our hospitality industry Role Ready Virtual Career Expo. We are so excited to have you all join us. My name is Muriel Anderson McDade, and I'm the Employment Placement Coordinator for Riverside City College. And it's a pleasure for me to have as our speaker this evening would be Professor Yolanda Bender, and she is the professor at College of the Desert for the hospitality industry. And I'll go ahead and allow her to just say a few words, introduce yourself, Professor, and then we'll go ahead and get started on our questions.
All right, great. So my name is Yolanda Bender. I'm the instructor and faculty advisor of the Hospitality Management Program at College of the Desert. I've been there 3 years. Prior to that, I worked in the hospitality industry. When I got to the college, there were 2 courses that were part of the major, and we are now up to 9. So we've had a lot of growth in a few years.
Wow, congratulations. You've been working hard.
A little bit, yeah.
Wow, that shows passion. When you can grow a program that fast, it's always somebody with some serious passion behind it.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
So, Professor, we'll go ahead and get started on our first questions. What can you tell us about the hospitality industry?
Mm-hmm. So the hospitality industry, it is the management of all aspects of a hospitality business, whether it's lodging, so a hotel, or if you're going to manage a bunch of Airbnbs, dining, entertainment, travel, events, conventions, right? Convention centers, anything like that. That is part of the hospitality industry. In the Coachella Valley, it's the #1 industry. In, let's say Anaheim, it's going to be the #1 industry, right? It's #4 in the country, last time I checked, and #6 in the world. So lots of opportunity to grow and move to different places if you choose to.
Awesome. You mentioned Airbnbs. Now you really have my attention because, that's my go-to when I retire. I want to buy some property and just do Airbnbs, you know.
A lot of places are limiting them now, so.
I know, so it's like I'm catching it at the tail end of it, of
I
the
know.
industry,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
But I love them. I was just like, this is
I know, I do
such a
too,
great idea.
unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, so, well, thank you for that. So I
Oh,
still will look into it.
we're alone now. Unknown
Oh,
left.
no, bummer.
Maybe they'll come
Well,
back.
hey, we're still gonna go with our second question because it's being recorded and, you know, we can always play it for someone when they pop back in.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, how long are the programs at College of the Desert?
So the degree programs at College of the Desert are 2 years. And the degrees that we have are the AS Hospitality Management AS degree employment prep. If you want to graduate in 2 years and go right to work. There's the Hospitality Management AS degree transfer prep. If you want to transfer to a 4-year college, like a Cal Poly Pomona or Cal State San Bernardino in Palm Desert, they both have 4-year hospitality management degrees. Those are both 2-year programs. And then your hospitality management certificate of achievement, shorter, right? A year to get that, sometimes less if you really take a lot of classes.
So 1 year, and then you have your 2
2 years. Mhm.
2 years, got it, and then the certificate. And then they could always take the certificate, and if they decide later to continue on,
Yes,
they could probably are these like stackable? That's what I was wondering.
yes,
Like,
they're
if they get
stackable.
that AS certificate and
Yes,
decide, then they would just do an additional year and go on
yes,
for the associate's degree. Okay,
yes.
perfect, great. Tell us what kinds of programs are available.
So I talked about the degrees that we have available, but the classes, so for the core classes for the employment prep degree, the core courses are Intro to Hospitality, Hospitality Law, Hospitality Supervision, Intro to Food and Beverage Management, Front Office and Housekeeping Management, Hospitality Sales and Marketing, Hotel and Restaurant Accounting, Customer Service Management. And then we have a new course that is just starting. It's called Leadership and Management in the Hospitality Industry. And this course is the first year we're doing this, I think, of any program ever at College of the Desert. We're teaching it in conjunction with students from Wakayama University in Japan. And at the end of the course, College of the Desert students are going to travel to Japan to meet with industry leaders, to meet the students they've been studying with. They're going to take a couple of classes, you know, for 1 day at Wakayama and travel throughout Japan, talking to industry leaders. So it's pretty exciting.
Wow. So when you were saying they're taking it, so in Japan, they're taking the same courses.
No,
and
we're doing it together.
doing it together.
But then we do a Zoom call, and on that call, there's College of the Desert students and students from Wakayama University all at once.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty
they're
cool.
online, hybrid.
They're online. It's a very
Okay.
good exchange of ideas. Yeah.
How do you adjust the time?
We do it at 5:30 p.m., which is 8:30 p.m. for them. I mean, we do it at 5:30 p.m. It's 8:30 a.m. for them.
For them. Okay, okay, got it. Very interesting. Oh, wow. Okay, that's a great experience. And then they get to go meet them all in person.
And they all go
How
to me.
awesome is that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to go. Okay. Can you talk to us a little bit about the pay salary for some of these careers in hospitality?
Mhm.
I know it's a wide range, but maybe you could just.
It is. Yeah. So there's this misconception that the hospitality industry only has low paying jobs because people usually associate it with front desk agents and housekeepers. But there's a lot of really good jobs with really good salaries. So for example, in operations, if you went in as a front office manager or assistant general manager, depending on the size of the property, you're going to make anywhere from $53,000 to $58,000. A general manager is going to make $95,000 to $140,000. However, if you're a general manager of a large resort, you're going to make $200,000 or more. If you want to go into sales and marketing, a sales coordinator is an entry-level position in that department, $48,000. Sales manager, $64,000, and a director of sales, $168,000. If you like food and beverage, a food and beverage manager is going to make 50,000 and a director of food and beverage is going to make 83,000. These are all salaried positions, which means the majority of them have incentive programs. So you're going to get bonused every quarter. And they also have full benefits, which include travel. So you get employee rates at hotels. So for example, this weekend at Coachella, you know, some of the hotels in the area were $800 or more. An employee rate can be $129. You're not guaranteed to get it, but there's a huge difference, right? If you want to work in restaurants, an assistant restaurant manager will make about 45,000, a restaurant manager 118,000, and a bar manager 42,700, so 43,000. So like I said, these are averages. Some make a lot more, some make less, but this is the average.
And would you say that average is based on their education after they finish their program of study with a degree or a certificate, or would some of these averages be after they've gotten their bachelor's, or? What do you think?
No, if you're a sales manager, whether you have a bachelor's degree or associate's degree, it's not going to matter. That's how much you're going to make.
Okay, got it. Because, you know, a lot of the hotels, and then you
Yeah.
mentioned also front of the house as part of the classes that you're taking in these programs, right? So for example, if a student has decided, I'm thinking for myself, some of our students that finished our culinary program, you know, they go through the whole range, front of the house, back of the house, and then food prep and things like that. So this would be another option for them to also go into, once they finish that program, they can also go straight on into a hospitality management program.
I have a couple of students this semester that have switched from culinary to hospitality management because they don't want to be in a kitchen all the time.
Exactly. I have a student who's, I mean, you just did two, you know, our program is a year. And they said, oh, I changed my mind. I don't want to be in the kitchen. I don't know what our chefs did to her, but she's like, no.
It's a lot of work. That's real. I mean, food and beverages meant a lot of hours, lousy hours, right?
It's hard.
I just feel that with hospitality management, you have a lot of room to move up. And it's not just property jobs, right? Because if you really are motivated, then you become a regional director or a vice president, right? In my career, I started at the property level. I advanced eventually to a regional, then a vice president, and then eventually I became president of a third-party hotel management company where we oversaw a portfolio of hotels. And so, you know, you can really, I mean, you know, you have to work hard, but you can move up.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is definitely, like I said, if no one else is learning anything tonight, I am. So I'll have something to share with the students when I get back tomorrow. Okay, so our next question was, what are some of the things students have done after graduating from the program? So with their certificate or their degrees? Yeah.
I've got one student that is managing two restaurants in San Diego, just opened one. I have another one that was overseeing all of the restaurants for one of the casinos here when they first opened. We have a lot of students that work at hotels that move up. The program is still really new, right? So in 2020, there were 2 classes. Now there's 9. And so it's growing, you know. Now we're looking at internships, setting up internships with local hotels so that when our students graduate, they have experience, they already have their foot in the door, they're more than likely going to be offered a permanent job, and then they have a really good idea of what it is they want to do.
And it's great because a lot of hotels, a lot of agencies, hospitality industries, they're looking for that pipeline. So this is like so perfect for them, where they can just go directly to the community colleges and start filling those positions that they need. And then it's also beneficial for them to take some of their current staff, because we've had that to happen at RCC from certain locations. You know, they want to upscale, you know, some of the individuals that may be just doing housekeeping, let them know, hey, go in and get your certificate in hospitality and maybe go back and get a degree so that they can move up.
Absolutely. And that's another thing we're working with hotels, right? If they identify employees that they know have the potential to be leaders, then they're going to encourage them to take classes. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Great. Okay, so the next question we went in, what kind of careers have they gone into? So we've talked about that briefly. What kind of resources are available to the students at College of the Desert? Such as, please talk about the EOPS, DSPS, scholarships. You mentioned, the internships,
Mhm.
financial aid, and any clubs that students like to participate in.
So we have the program where if students qualify for the pledge program, it's tuition free for 2 years. There are obviously a lot of scholarships for community college students based on financial need. We have the disability service program, veterans programs. We have Black Student Union. We have the Dream Center for Dreamers. We have the Pride Center. We have our learning center, tutoring and learning center that has all kinds. I mean, they have a lot of support there. We have a food pantry, so that students that, are facing issues can go in there and get what they need. Yeah, so we have sports, we have student leadership. So all kinds of programs for our students, really.
Wow, that was awesome. You mentioned the food pantry, and I think we talked about that before. So that's something that's very beneficial for a lot of community
Yes.
colleges now. It's
Very,
those
very
food
much so.
pantries and those basic needs centers, as well as, even like for RCC, we have a career closet. So it's just so heartwarming to know that, our colleges are not only educating our students and helping prepare them for the workforce, but we're also eliminating a lot of other barriers because, it's kind of hard to study when you're hungry. It's kind of hard to go on a job interview when you don't have anything to wear.
Yes.
So I'm really, really excited and glad to see that we're aligning and doing things like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That just warms my heart. So great, awesome. Well, I see we have Lorena is trying to join us. I have no idea what's going on, why they can't get in, but we have another unknown. So unknown, would you like to unmute and ask any questions, or Lorena is gone? Okay, so now is where we're opening up for questions. Please feel free to unmute. You can ask any questions, or you're welcome to put them in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. Let's not all ask questions at one time. Everybody wants to speak at the same time, right? Oh, okay. Attendee number 1, are you there? Can you hear us? That's the other question. Can you hear us? Okay. I'm going to say yes. Well, Professor Bender, if you would like to I'll copy and put your email address in the chat again.
It's just what I was doing.
Oh, good job. So you can go ahead and do that. That way, because
yeah, if anyone has any questions, yeah.
Yeah, so at least, and I know with it being recorded, that I do believe all of this will be recorded in the chat, and they can. So the plan is, I'm hoping that they'll post this somewhere, maybe for people who may have missed it tonight or couldn't log in, they can go back and revisit. Which is great. So I think we covered a lot of, I know I have notes, so I think.
Well, I'm glad.
So I think we covered a lot of good information on the hospitality industry, which will help me in my role at the college for sure. Let's see here. Is there any questions? Is there anything else maybe we could share? You want to share?
I think so. I think we've covered everything. But if you have any, if any of your students have any questions, really, please just shoot me an email. I'd be glad to help.
Absolutely. I'm going to make sure I have your email here because I think, they sent it to me.
Yeah. Okay.
I have your email. I would love to definitely keep in touch. For me, obviously, students move. Our students, they follow the money. It is what it is.
Absolutely. So, yeah. I don't blame them.
I can't blame them.
Not at all.
For me, it's hey, when they tell me, hey, Muriel, I'm moving, I'm looking for something, whatever in whatever area, whether it be LA County, Orange County, Coachella. I was like, great, let me reach out to some resources and see how I can help you. So for me, that's what we're regional. So that's what
absolutely
we're regional. So
yeah,
and
well, I appreciate it.
Community college, regional consortia, so that
exactly
all in this together. And the ultimate goal is to make sure that students are successful after they leave our institutions. And so for me, that's what's most important.
I agree.
Yeah,
agree.
definitely. And I will definitely let you know. And I work with a lot of our culinary students, and they have told me on numerous occasions, I would love to stay in the IE, but I can't, Muriel, the pay is just not, I need to go. And so they'll get their training, they'll take a little job, like maybe at the Mission Inn for a few months or 6 months or so. And then the next thing I know, I get an email, hey, I'm in Vegas, like, hey,
Yeah, exactly.
like, hey,
What
I'm
happened here?
in LA. And
Exactly. Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
I'm just like,
understand.
yeah, I'm just like, I'm happy for him. I was like, whoa, Vegas. I literally just had a gentleman, it was a couple of months ago, and he finished culinary. I think he was our, because, we have there's 1 year semesters, and, but he finished, and I hadn't heard from him for a while, and he went out to Vegas and started his own business.
That's great.
So, and that was another thing I was going to ask too. So for entrepreneur students, so students that are interested, so really this could be, would they necessarily need to take an entrepreneur class? This seems like it covers pretty much. You even have law in there. So
We have
hospitality law.
hotel and restaurant accounting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, they can take these classes and open a restaurant.
and open up a restaurant. Wow.
Well, I mean, they'd have to, if they have some knowledge of back of the house, right? You can't just, it takes so much to open a restaurant, right? You have to have knowledge of back of the house, but you really have to know the business end of it as well. And that's what this is. So, yeah.
Which, now that I'm thinking about this, for the culinary students, you really need this component. You really need this
Oh, yeah.
hospitality
Absolutely.
component. So
Well,
for
even if
all
you're
those,
gonna be an executive chef, you have to know how to put together a budget and read financial statements and how to figure out food. I'm sure they figure out, I don't know if they figure out food costs, but we do.
they do that, and they do that in culinary. I know they do costing and things, but this
Yeah.
takes it to
You,
the
you need
next
to know
level.
these things. Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay. It looks like we have our guest back. Yay, I'm excited. We have someone back with us. Thank you for rejoining us. My name is Muriel. I'm the Employment Placement Coordinator and your moderator tonight. And we have Professor Bender. We went over a lot of questions. I don't know if you were able to hear any, but if you have any questions for us, please feel free to unmute, or you're welcome to put them in the chat. Okay, that's fine. No worries. Let me think of a question then. Let me see. Let me see what I can think of there. So we talked about, for me, a lot of the culinary students now, I'm definitely going to be asking them, especially those that I know have shared that they're looking to open up their own business. And it's been several students, whether it be, I've even had a student that took the class simply to learn how to cook in culinary, and then he came right back and took a welding class. And I'm trying to understand, how do you what is this? What are you doing? And you know what he said? He says because he's getting ready to open up a barbecue restaurant, and he needed to
So
build his own grills.
it's pretty smart.
Pretty
Yeah.
smart, right? He wanted to build his own smokers, so he needed to learn how to weld.
You can't open a restaurant, you cannot open a restaurant or any kind of business and not understand accounting. Not that I like accounting, I don't, but it's a necessary evil. Yeah.
Necessary one. So, and that's really
Yeah.
good to know for a lot of students, because they don't go into that depth of it in the
No, they absolutely, no, they don't. They don't.
And even in an accounting class, what I like about your program, but for part of the accounting, is you can take an accounting class, but does the class go look at it from a business perspective?
Well, they don't look at it through they don't look at it a hotel and restaurant aspect. That it's general, which is fine, but this is very detailed. And again, this isn't, if you want to be a CPA, you have to take accounting, right? If you want to be in hospitality and you need to analyze statements, this is what you take, so you can look at them and understand them.
Okay.
Where is everything derived from? How do they relate to each other? And most importantly, how do you analyze them? So that's your business.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I think if I can't find the resources that I need in my area, I have a student already that I know that I'm gonna have to give your email to.
That's fine.
I don't know if she's gonna come out to College of the Desert, but this information would be.
They can take online. No,
Yeah,
she can take online. Yeah.
she would definitely take online, and she would definitely, and she's already shared with me that she wants to open up her own restaurant. She wants to open her own business, and she wants to have, and she even mentioned she wants to have a chain of restaurants. And so I'm like, okay, I love the fact dream. I love it. And she'll be finishing
Absolutely.
at RCC in June. She's already got a part-time job over at a hospital as a dietary aide.
That's
She's
great.
a culinary student, so she's paying her dues and getting that little work experience. And that's her dream. So I definitely want to connect her with some other opportunities like this. Like, hey, you really need
Thank
to
you.
take these different programs or these
Thank you.
classes, because I didn't even know about this.
Yeah.
So if, like I said, I'm gonna tell James, and this is recorded, if nothing else, Muriel learned something. I can share it with my
Well, I'm
students.
glad. Does our visitor, do you have any questions for me? No?
Well, Professor Bender, her email's in the chat if you want to email.
Yeah, if you have any questions afterwards, just email me and I can answer them for you. Yeah. All right.
I hope they could hear us okay.
I'm sure they can.
Okay, all right. Well, this
All
is
right.
awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Professor.
Really appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you. This was really fun, and we did
was.
it. You know what? This is
We
what you call
did, yeah.
winging it, right?
Yes. Thank you very much. You have a good evening.
Thank you. You too. Have a good one.
You too.
Stop
Bye-bye.
recording. Bye-bye. Okay. Well, you sure you want to stop recording?